key components of a functioning, inclusive social protection system.
To respond to the diversity of needs of children and adults with disabilities, inclusive social protection system should combine a diversity of schemes. Mainstream schemes, disability-specific schemes, in cash, in kind, direct service delivery. And this overall setup should ensure basic income security, coverage of healthcare costs, and importantly, coverage of disability-related costs. Persons with disabilities, due to their functional limitation, but also all the barriers in the environment, face a vast diversity of costs. It could be assistive device, it could be personal assistance, it could be using the taxi because the bus is not accessible, it could be minor or more important home adaptation, etc. And to do that, you need a diversity of instruments. For instance, a disability support allowance could cover some of the basic costs, but then concession, like on utilities or transportation, could help persons with disabilities and their families to offset those disability costs. Finally, direct service delivery, for instance, sign language interpreters or respite service, could also provide significant support in alleviating those costs for persons with disabilities and their families. To know who needs what kind of support, government needs to develop disability assessment that take into consideration not only the functional limitation of persons with disabilities, but also the support needs and the barrier they face. And those assessments need to be connected to information system that will allow government to use this information to do case management, but also do policy planning as well as budgeting.
What can international cooperation actors do to support the inclusion of persons with disabilities in Africa's social protection systems?
Africa is indeed one of the regions of the world with the lowest coverage in terms of disability benefit for persons with disabilities. International cooperation has a critical role to play in building inclusive social protection system. One of the first elements is ensuring coordination and engagement with organizations of persons with disabilities, ensuring that their views on how to make existing schemes accessible, what are the priorities in terms of development of disability-specific schemes are taken into consideration. Technical assistance in developing disability assessment mechanism and related information system is also very important. Support in developing the disability support allowance, scaling up existing scheme with significant financial contribution will also be needed. An important element that is often overlooked is the investment in development of community support services, such as personal assistance, respite services. Those are critical elements of an inclusive social protection system, and unfortunately, there is very little practice existing in the continent. So that could be also one of the critical contributions from international cooperation.
This video was produced with the financial support of the European Union. Its contents are the sole responsibility of Bridging the Gap and do not necessarily reflect the views of the European Union.